My name is Sandra Diane Madden, and my journey began in the far northeast corner of Washington, D.C., a neighborhood called Deanwood. That's where my father, Oliver W. Madden of Virginia, and my mother, Marie Ethel Blakeney of South Carolina, came as part of the Great Migration from the fields to the big cities. Segregation led them to settle in all-black Deanwood, a stable, thriving community where two-parent families were the norm, and Negroes, as we were called then, from all walks of life, found a refuge from the uncertainty, the insults, the treachery, and the violence that met them in other places. All manner of folk lived side by side in Deanwood. Porters, government workers, domestics, building tradesmen, professionals, and businessmen. Some of them you may have heard of. They were all part of Deanwood's quirky mix. Mama was a full-time homemaker, which was not unusual in our community. Daddy started out as a grocer on Grant Street, our business district. When he decided to become a real estate broker, Daddy built a house with offices on the ground floor and living quarters above. A pool hall and a sanctified church were on either side. It was a house with plenty of room for the growing Madden family. One day in 1954, I was in the living room with Daddy when he looked up from his newspaper to tell me that the Supreme Court had declared segregation in schools was illegal. But little changed in the Deanwood schools. We continued to use out-of-date books that were discarded by the white schools. Still, our teachers did what they could to overcome our separate and unequal situation. They held us to high standards and loved us. As I grew up, I started to get a different kind of attention. One who took notice was the singer Billy Stewart. He was outside Deanwood's professional building at the same time I was leaving it. Billy sang to me to get my phone number, but I was only 15 and more interested in guys my own age, like those at my high school spin garn. That was where I ran smack into the color hierarchy. Our community's code that said light skin is the right skin. I defiantly chose my friends as I wanted. Always and forever egalitarian. Spingarn had a doo-wop group that was as good as any on the radio. Their a cappella sounds were, in the slang of the day, boss and fat. When they practiced during lunchtime, we jammed the hallways trying out our latest moves, the hand dance and the birdland. Some of Spingarn's best dancers made their way onto the Milk Ranch show, the few times a month when colored people only were featured. Boy, could they dance. We'd sit transfixed in front of the TV set. It was such a rare thing to see black people on TV in those days. Change was in the air, and I wanted to be a change agent like so many others from that time. So I enrolled at D.C. Teachers College. But college life wasn't just work and no play. D.C. Teachers Minor Building was next to Howard University, where fine Howard gentlemen helped to fill my social calendar. Sometimes we'd go to the Bohemian Caverns to hear a great band, or to the Howard Theater for equally great music. The show with Nancy Wilson and Cannonball Adderley was unforgettable. And then there were those balmy summer nights spent dancing aboard Potomac riverboat cruises. Oh yeah. I joined D.C. Teachers chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority in 1963. Our initiation ceremony had to be postponed because of the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Despite the cloud of sadness that covered our nation, one November day, I was welcomed into the sisterhood of AKAs, a community and network that broadened my world. The year I graduated from college, 1965, was also the year when someone came to my neighborhood with an important message. After the March on Washington, the Nobel Prize, the Civil Rights Act, Dr. Martin Luther King visited Deanwood. I watched Dr. King from my house, but didn't join the crowd around him. Another voice had my attention. I wish I had walked the few paces to hear Dr. King. I believe his message was that we should tear down the fences that keep us from all of life's possibilities, and we should break out of our cocoons to spread our wings and fly. That same year, the Watts section of Los Angeles erupted in a riot. I remember thinking, LA is a place I'd never want to live. However,